Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jedi Playbook. This is now going to be the podcast, which will save to YouTube. Um, basically, the you not YouTube. Instagram is not saving my lives for some reason. So the solution to that is I'm recording it locally, and then I'll upload the recording to YouTube so that it can be viewed, whenever you'd like. There were a few people that asked me, why don't I do that? Because they couldn't make it to the live. So I will. For those of you who are new and just joining us, my name is Ron. Well, no, it's not. It's not IGTV. Um, I've looked into this, but anyway, please save comments and questions until the end, because what I'll do is I'll essentially go through all the points I need to make and record the podcast that I was going to, because address all of the issues that I need to, and then we can take comments and questions at the end. Okay? So, introductions. First of all, if you are new, this is the Jedi Playbook. My name is Ron. As you can see from the copious amounts of alcohol behind me, I am a wine professional by day. That's my job. That's my profession. This is a hobby, obviously, but outside of that, I'm a stand-up comedian. No, not stand-up. I've only done that a couple times, but I'm certainly a comedian. Can't take yourself too seriously. I am a classical pianist. I am also a martial artist, and I'm a Jedi. And I consider myself very much a Jedi consular. There are three distinct roles that a Jedi Knight can fulfill: the consular, the guardian, and the sentinel. Read up on it. Scroll through Instagram. All right. So, first order of business is Revenge of the Sith. I've been doing a whole lot of posts, as you might imagine and see from the feed there, regarding the Padme-Anakin relationship, and I wanted to address that a little bit more because I was getting a lot of comments about it, and people, I think, are misconstruing my intentions. So, in Revenge of the Sith, and actually Attack of the Clones, it starts in Attack of the Clones, but the relationship really kind of takes hold of him, and everything gets out of hand in Revenge of the Sith, obviously. If you haven't seen the film, that's what happens. Spoiler alert. But in Attack of the Clones, there's very much that kind of, like, not necessarily tension, but the dynamic between Padme and Anakin is acted as best I think they could do. Natalie Portman is a great actor. They're both good actors. The dialogue left something to be desired. So if you can look past the writing and the that element of it, the kind of campiness, it's slightly cringeworthy, but just take it for what it is. Take it at face value, because that's literally, like, you can't get more overt than what does he say? If you're suffering as much as I am, you are in my very soul, tormenting me. Like, very dramatic stuff. But if you have ever experienced that, if you've ever kind of felt that way about someone, it's very easy to kind of put yourself in that position and understand, once she indicated that she felt something too, right? Because she does. It was courageous of him to do that, right? To tell her how he felt, even risking. He's a Jedi. He's not supposed to do all that, but not exactly being the best Jedi at the time. He tells her. She indicates that she feels the same way, but shuts it down that, no, we can't do that. You're a Jedi. I'm a senator, the whole bit. And Attack of the Clones is the one I saw most in theaters, oddly enough, because I don't know why. I did not see Phantom Menace. I only saw Phantom Menace once in theaters. When Attack of the Clones came out, I must have been like 14, and it was the one where I kind of, I guess, had enough autonomy to go to the theater and see it as many times as I wanted. I think I saw it like 3 times. Never really occurred to me, never really noticed. I was always about the Jedi battle at the end with the clones and the lightsabers, and that was my favorite part. It wasn't until I really took a closer look at the relationship between Padme and Anakin that you really understand, like, it truly is his attachment to her and fear of losing her that really drives him to the dark side. And when you see the progression from Padme and Anakin on Naboo having that kind of moment, realizing once someone indicates to you that they have feelings for you too, like that's a big deal. And it if you are in a position, I look, it just so happens that I kind of understand a little bit about this in terms of being in a relationship and not it being the best thing for other elements of my life. And let's just leave it at that. It's very difficult to do the right thing and be disciplined and stay when like you that's something you that's something we all desire, to be loved and the connection there. So he loses his mother, right? Because immediately following the events of that evening when she's dressed like I don't know what, when Padme is dressed in that black like dress thing, um, they go to Tatooine and Anakin sees his mother die in his arms, right? And then they have their whole adventure on Geonosis and the battle and execution, basically, right? They were going to be executed. That's when she says, "No, I truly, deeply love you." It makes sense. Like as difficult as it was sometimes for the dialogue to take you out of that, you have to suspend disbelief and put yourself in a little bit more of a position there. It makes perfect sense that he fell to the dark side because that's what he's human, right? But if you are able to balance that dark side, that selfish element of wanting to be attached to somebody but not, right? If you can be more open with your compassion as a Jedi should, if you stick to the code, right? This came up in the DMs. If someone messages me and says that they don't like the Jedi code or they don't like the Sith code, vice versa, it's generally because they lean towards one side or the other and don't need whatever side they lean towards reinforced. If you lean towards the Sith side, you don't need to reinforce your Sith side. You need to reinforce the light side of things, and vice versa. If you are too on that light side, you can argue you can't be too much on the light. But like, then you get into situations where there are people who just don't advocate for themselves and they're not assertive at all, and they have to go through literally like assertiveness training. The dark side will make you assertive. The Sith code will make you assertive. Passion, power, strength, the whole bit. Like, it's about finding balance in between those two things, and the whole idea of this account is to help, bring about that balance. It certainly helps me because I've never actually examined any of these things. It's Star Wars, it's lightsabers and explosions and stuff like that. And literally, it's only been 4 or 5 months now that I've actually looked at Star Wars within the frame of this is how I can interpret spirituality and self-actualization and personal growth and development and bettering myself and striving for something better, because it's mythology. It's an ideal you strive for, right? Those were pretty much the comments I wanted to make about Padme and Anakin's relationship. It is now, we're going on almost 10 minutes, so time for questions. I will leave this bit in for YouTube, but in the future I may just kind of like sign off, cut it there, and then interact with you guys on Instagram, because there's something to be said about having an opportunity to drive the content. If you actually do catch me live, all of this Sith content was a result of somebody last Saturday saying, "Hey, can you do some Sith content?" And people seem to respond to it. And it's been very interesting for me too. So if you do have things you want to see, if you do have particular questions, let me know. Now is the time for comments and questions. Let's go to the comments. Did I miss anything? Okay. Oh, wow. A lot of people. All right. Have you seen Clone Wars yet? I have seen Clone Wars. I have seen Clone Wars. I've seen Rebels. I've seen... What's the most recent thing? I'm rewatching Mandalorian right now. Like that's my current kind of thing, because there's a lot of great stuff in the Mandalorian. We're gonna do some Mandalorian philosophy also, because all I say is take what works for you. If the Jedi code works, great. If the Sith code works, great. If you want to borrow from many disciplines like I do, and do like tarot cards and meditation, but also, stuff that's a little more grounded in martial arts and active training, like, just find what works for you across the board. Find what diet works for you. That's the best advice I can give. DeFranco, it feels like Anakin developed an obsession rather than true love. That's a very interesting point. That's a very interesting point. So then the question, I actually addressed this in one of the posts I was doing, I think either this morning or last night, and that is, were Anakin and Padme truly in love, or were they in just such a crazy situation that their infatuation for each other, which is what it seems more like, possibly, is what took over? Interesting food for thought. I'm curious to know your comments. Breathe in peace, breathe out emotion. Very good. Yes. Pad. Removes the attachment to prejudice and establishes perseverance. May. Oh, Padme. Interesting. Removes the attachment to possessiveness and establishes concentration. Padme's name in Sanskrit. That's fascinating. Thank you for that. OMN Yogi. Thank you. What do you think the best workout / recuse regimen or focus should be for Jedi training? Okay. Right now, I just completely revamped my workout. I'm being trained by professionals for the first time ever, really. I've never paid for training before. Up until there, I had been doing just like kind of weightlifting, some jogging. What they are doing, I had my first like true real workout this morning. I felt like I was going to be ill after the workout. It was incredibly intense. It was circuits, so like your cardio, like you're constantly doing something, very little time, just like brief recovery times, and it's very functional. They had me doing like box jumps, but not like, oh, see how high you can get. Like, put it low, put it about waist high, concentrate on your form, land perfectly. Because if you can box jump and land perfectly, then when you get taller and taller and taller, that's how, what I imagine, by the way, and this, I guess, is what helped me do this exercise. In episode 1 in Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are fighting Darth Maul, okay? And Obi-Wan takes a dive, like he falls to the lower platform and jumps all the way back up. That's what I imagine. That's how I train the box jump. And it's fantastic. It really puts you in a good state of mind. I think you should gear your workouts towards what works best for you. I want to gear mine towards fencing footwork, kendo blade work, right? So a lot of lats, because you're doing a lot of power, like strokes down. That's what a lightsaber is. And then a lot of legs, like jumping power, like being more explosive with fast twitch muscle. But also just generally healthier, right? To be a Jedi depends on which category of Jedi you are, right? If you are a consular, obviously put a greater emphasis on meditation. If you're a Jedi Guardian and your, bread and butter is lightsaber combat, train lightsaber combat. Do the exercises that you need to do to be better at lightsaber combat. Find a partner. This is a really big one. If you have a family member, it's helpful to have like a brother or something who's also trained in swordplay. Choreograph certain movements to train your reactions. That's how you get better, working with a partner. I say that a lot in martial arts. It's very difficult to train martial arts alone. You need a partner. You never see one good martial arts practitioner. They generally come in pairs, or it's somebody who's getting trained by somebody who's really, really good. Weights, body weights, yoga. Find anything that works for you. Calisthenics and martial arts. What I train is I do my Wing Chun forms, which is like the bare minimum essentials to keep my like tendon flexibility. I do a lot of the weights, and then I vary my cardio doing either swimming if I can, jogging, um, and then just more like circuit stuff that's very functional. So like, um, what are they called? Like single leg squats is really good. Um, a lot of body weight stuff to start with, certainly. If you are just getting into it, first of all, consult a doctor if you are, before undertaking any lifestyle changes, consult a professional because I am a person on the internet, right? Don't take advice from me. Take this with a grain of salt. But you seriously, do your research, consult professionals. Um, the workout thing is start with calisthenics and body weight, and you will build such a solid foundation. You don't need any gym equipment. I started out getting into shape by jogging, which you can do anywhere, and body weight exercises, literally just push ups, sit ups, crunches, bicycle crunches, planks, side planks. And then if you get those like bands, that's all you need because then you can do curls with the bands, you can do lat pulls with the bands. If you get one of those pull up bars, you can do pull ups. Pull ups are so good for building muscle. They are one of the most difficult exercises to do, but really, really good. Um, what else did I miss here? This challenge is so cool. I'm geeking out over it. Yeah. Thanks for investing and sharing your journey with us. Thank you. Thank you guys. Seriously, the support and like the messages I get and the comments and the engagement from you guys is incredible. So thank you. Please keep it up because it keeps me going. Knowing someone's actually out there being at least somewhat entertained and learning at least something is helpful. So thank you, everyone, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. All right. Workout focus or regimen. Okay. No, I missed that. Sorry. Okay. Um, yeah, with the workout, it's gear. So my suggestion is find what you want to do and train functionally. Like if what you're gearing towards is to be faster with your legs, then like do sprints and stuff like that. Do like more engaging stuff. Um, it helps to consult professionals. There are so many personal trainers who need work now. Find somebody on Instagram, find somebody locally, find like a small business near you. Support small local businesses, please. The reason I am able to do this account and, you know, deal with Star Wars more than most people and actually be able to produce this content is because I was fortunate enough to maintain my job through the pandemic. I'm employed by a small business, and I cannot stress enough, like, please support small businesses if you can. Is it best to have two different exercise routines, one for physical health and another for mental health? So I want to find a steady way for them. Okay. You need three. And there's three parts to the routine. Remember, mind, body, spirit. There's three pillars. There's the force, which is your spirituality, which should be the meditation, right? Which also helps with mental stuff. There's your exercise routine, right? That should happen every day also, or at least like 5 or 6 times a week. Meditation should be every day. You don't necessarily have to meditate the same way every day. Like I said a while ago, I don't remember which one it was, but meditation can be anything. Meditation can be as simple as, sitting and just breathing, listening to music, using guided meditations, playing an instrument. Anything that actually lets you like zone out is good for that also. And there's many different ways you can do that, but just find what centers yourself. And then the final thing is learning. Engaging your mind to learn something new, something productive. So those 3 habits, particularly in the morning, are really good to establish. Even if it's just a half hour for each of them. That's 90 minutes that you can go to bed earlier, wake up earlier, start your day earlier, make the time for it, because that will reward you tenfold down the line. Like the mornings I start when I learn something, I meditate, and I work out, I'm unstoppable the rest of the day. When I don't meditate in the morning and I prioritize other stuff, I feel it. I feel like my lack of focus. I'm like, I'm feeling very emotional right now. I'm being irrational. I just flipped out at my brother or something for doing something, innocuous in the kitchen or, whatever it is. you're not really aware of it, or I'm not really aware of it sometimes. And it's not until, like, in retrospect, like, wow, I'm not myself right now. I don't feel centered and grounded. I want to make sure I always feel centered and grounded. And that's why, since I lean, I guess, a little bit more towards the Sith side of things, the Jedi stuff comes harder. So I recite the Jedi code, because that's what needs to be reinforced. I imagine Shaolin Kung Fu to be very similar to Jedi. Yes. From what I've seen, from what I've known, Kung Fu and just any kind of Kung Fu. Kung Fu just means skill through hard work in Cantonese. Gong Fu just means skill through hard work. You call a master potter Sifu. You can call a doctor Sifu. You call your martial arts instructor Sifu. Sifu is a term for master, someone who has mastered a craft or a profession or a skill through putting in the hours and hard work. So Jedi, being a Jedi is Kung Fu. It's a type of Kung Fu. It takes training and skill through hard work. Yeah. All right. Yeah, gone way too long now. We've been going on 20 minutes, so I'm going to cut it there. Continue to DM me, please, and comment and engage, because it's fantastic. I love hearing from you. Send me your post idea. Like, if you have something you want to see, if you have questions, send me. A lot of these posts is driven by questions and comments. So feel free, all right? And if you're doing the Jedi Challenge, keep it up. I am on now day 11. I've been keeping a log of kind of the main theme of whatever I'm dealing with for that day, whether it's something, physical, emotional, mental, or some of the content. And we will, see you on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. I will do another live, and I'll try to save them. I'll start saving these, and then that way at least people can come back and listen to my voice all day long. So it's been a pleasure. May the Force be with you, and we will see you next time.